The Carborundum Company has initiated a product stewardship program for refractory ceramic fibers. The program is a comprehensive approach to ensuring safety in the manufacture, application, and ultimate disposal of materials containing refractory ceramic fibers. The product stewardship program consists of these key activities: health effects research, workplace monitoring, study of workplace controls, exposure assessments, product research, special studies, and communications. This video is the result of our ongoing efforts to provide recommendations to ensure the continued safe handling and use of FiberFrax ceramic fiber products. The Carborundum Company invented refractory ceramic fiber in the early 1940s. Since then, ceramic fiber has provided innovative insulation solutions for a broad range of industries. We continue to be an industry leader in the development, production, and industrial application of refractory ceramic fiber products. Refractory ceramic fiber is an amorphous, glassy composition of alumina and silica. It has the ability to withstand temperatures up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The exceptional insulation value of refractory ceramic fiber has led to its high demand and worldwide use, principally for high-temperature industrial applications, especially where energy savings are of critical importance. With refractory ceramic fiber the choice for high-temperature insulation applications, those of us who work with it must handle it properly. The safe handling procedures developed by Carborundum are designed to protect you from irritation and minimize exposure to airborne fibers. Refractory ceramic fiber is fibrous, and some forms can be dusty when handled. As with any other man-made insulating and refractory materials such as fibrous glass, mineral wool, and fire brick, it is important to handle it safely. Most substances can harm the body at sufficiently high concentrations and with exposure over a long period of time. We do know that refractory ceramic fiber can be irritating to the skin, eyes, and throat. The Carborundum Company, in conjunction with TEMA Incorporated, which is an association of thermal insulation manufacturers, is sponsoring human and animal health studies to examine possible long-term health effects. For information on the current status of ongoing health studies, contact the Fibers Division of the Carborundum Company. Workers should always take precautions when handling refractory ceramic fiber. Carborundum recommends a series of safe handling procedures, personal protective equipment, and airborne exposure guidelines to protect you and to provide for the continued safe handling and use of our products. The key is to minimize exposure. Engineering controls, together with an established routine of safe handling practices, can minimize exposure, ensuring a safer work environment. There is no federal exposure standard specifically for refractory ceramic fiber. However, Carborundum has developed a prudent recommended exposure guideline. Consult the current material safety data sheet for information on recommended exposure guidelines. Being aware of the potential exposure to airborne refractory ceramic fiber is just the first step. Safe handling must always be accomplished through good housekeeping practices, along with proper clothing and protective equipment, as well as engineering controls. This helps keep personal exposure to a minimum. The FiberFrax ceramic fiber products you work with come with an important label. Make sure you read it. You'll find a summary of the hazards and precautions involved in handling the product. It's also important to read the material safety data sheet for this product. In addition, we recommend that you carefully read the Safe Handling Practices brochure contained in our health information package. This can be obtained from your local Carborundum representative or by calling the Fibers Division at area code 716 278-6221. There are 3 situations in which exposure to refractory ceramic fiber must be minimized: in fabricating the product, when it's being installed, and during removal. In all situations, the goal is to minimize refractory ceramic fiber exposure by employing engineering controls, following safe work practices, and using personal protective equipment. Engineering controls typically involve process enclosures and local exhaust ventilation. Work practice controls include the substitution of hand tools for power tools and limiting mechanical disturbance of refractory ceramic fiber by reducing the speed or force of the operation. Accumulation of refractory ceramic fiber debris on floors and work surfaces must be kept to a minimum. Good housekeeping procedures are recommended, which include prompt cleanup using HEPA-filtered vacuum systems or wet sweeping. Good personal hygiene practices should be observed when working with refractory ceramic fiber. Wash your hands and face before eating and drinking. Food, drinks, and smoking should be prohibited in refractory ceramic fiber work areas. Protective clothing is suggested for individuals working with refractory ceramic fiber insulation materials to minimize skin contact and resulting irritation. Wear long-sleeved protective clothing and head covering. Disposable or launderable clothing are acceptable. Non-disposable protective clothing should be laundered separately. Eye protection in the form of goggles or safety glasses is also recommended. Use respiratory protection when any of the following conditions exist. Airborne fiber concentrations are unknown. Airborne fiber concentrations exceed the recommended exposure guidelines. When removing after-service refractory ceramic fiber that has been exposed to temperatures in excess of 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. And when nose and throat irritation occur. As part of Carborundum's product stewardship program, contact the Carborundum Fibers Division for information and assistance on determining airborne fiber levels in your workplace. Selection of the proper respiratory protection is based upon evaluation of your workplace environment and your company's respiratory protection program. Whenever respirators are used, a formal respiratory protection program is required to ensure proper use and fit. For further information on recommended respirator protection, review the Carborundum Material Safety Data Sheet and the Health and Safe Handling Information Package. After refractory ceramic fiber products have been in service at temperatures above 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, they may form cristobalite, a type of crystalline silica. Formation of cristobalite is a result of temperature and the time the product has been in service. Normally, only fibers nearest the hot surface are exposed to temperatures higher than 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. It is probable that only these fibers will have an appreciable cristobalite content. Removal of refractory ceramic fiber exposed to temperatures above 1800 degrees Fahrenheit generally produces more dust than is typically encountered in refractory ceramic fiber installation or fabrication operations. It is known that certain removal operations can generate cristobalite dust levels. Workers must use respiratory protection while removing refractory ceramic fiber insulation, which has been exposed to temperatures above 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, respirators are selected based on potential exposure levels as determined for cristobalite dust and refractory ceramic fiber concentrations. Proper control of after-service refractory ceramic fiber depends on sound engineering and work practice techniques. Good housekeeping and personal hygiene practices are similar to the guidelines already covered, with additional emphasis placed upon use of dust-suppressing agents and personal respiratory protective equipment. Disposal of refractory ceramic fiber should always be in compliance with local landfill regulations. The goal is to make sure you are working under the safest conditions possible. That's why the Carborundum Company has developed these safe handling recommendations: engineering controls, good housekeeping practices, wearing protective clothing, and using respirators when required. By following these procedures, workers can effectively reduce their potential exposure to most dusty materials. In all cases, workers should be informed of potential hazards and recommended handling practices through a review of the appropriate product material safety data sheets before beginning any work. Material safety data sheets and a health information package are available from your local Carborundum distributor or field sales engineer, or by contacting the Carborundum Company.